I see great potential for improving people's lives dramatically.
I really love to grow and to learn, and I'm learning about myself that I never knew, and I love it. It's just absolutely incredible.
I know I'm going to get state-of-the-art education from very well-trained people.
To see things in the seed, that is genius.
Several of my colleagues and I went off to study together.
We were in New York in 2004 in a special training, Bones for Life, with Ruthie Alon.
And her leadership in the field of somatic education so lit us up that we felt called to create programming for mainstream rehabilitation to help an aging population with function, movement, balance, happiness, and even to bring the power of this work into the classroom so that teachers would have a better opportunity for tapping the learning potential of each and every child.
The Integrative Learning Center is a unique concept. It's a virtual center.
A concept that's being spread over the internet and in the lives of those people that get involved with it. The board, those people who catch the integral vision and apply it to, at this particular time in terms of somatic education, but it can spread to everything from spirituality to business to interpersonal relationships.
When people think, oh, I've had an injury and I can't exercise anymore, it really does affect their heart.
I've had several fractures, including a pelvis fracture, and I don't want any more of that.
There were 3 years in my life when I didn't walk.
I could feel pain and I would just extend and go beyond the pain.
We need methods that work with the way the person is functioning and respond to that.
My caseload tends to be people that have tried physical therapy in the past, have tried multiple injections. Occasionally they also have had surgery, and they come to me feeling like therapy's not going to help them, that they're never going to move easily again, that they will always have pain.
Down and down, up and down, up. An example of what I think we do that is sometimes harmful is that the kids will be moving around and bouncing around in their seats, and we will interpret that as they just can't pay attention. Sometimes it's a behavior concern versus, the child really just needs to move.
We're stuck with this model that we have to get rid of the symptom when what we're really trying to do in any kind of rehabilitation is restore, improve function. You don't. What's the problem we can get hold of and get rid of? If there's no germ, if there's no structural damage for a surgeon to restore the anatomy there, what's the problem? How do you get rid of the problem? You don't. You improve functionality and the system heals itself.
The courses that I've taken at Integrative Learning Center have really helped my practice and helped my patients, which is the important piece.
You go ahead and start to walk.
These individuals who've had this disability come up, such as like a stroke or a brain injury, I really see the Integrative Learning Center as helping them to exit the patient mode and enter the rest of their life.
Using the somatic approaches of the Feldenkrais method, Bones for Life, and Integral Human Gait, we really do find that we're making a considerable difference in the people who engage in these programs and in the therapists who train with this work.
Okay, now feel along the length of the sternum.
I was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis when I was 16 years old. There were 3 years in my life when I didn't walk. And many of the modalities that I have learned and that I have worked with have been invaluable. But nothing has caused changes as quickly as the Bones for Life.
I have found that using the very simple processes in the Bones for Life method, especially pushing feet against the wall, pushing hands against the wall, has really significantly improved their ability to find easy, simple, pain-free movement.
As long ago as 1982 in the spring, when I was in a big hotel ballroom and for a couple of short days with Feldenkrais himself, I felt that the Feldenkrais method was already, at that stage, what physical therapy ought to become. I'd already figured out on my own from observing people that the nervous system is central, that there's no boundary between orthopedic and neurological problems, really. It's the same person, the same human, the same system that needs to change what it's doing.
Studying Bones for Life and Feldenkrais method has really helped me step up my practice in that I'm able to take a step back and look at more of what the kids need, and I know now better how to help them get it versus me constantly telling them how to get it.
In order to have a program which really draws from all these different points of view, we need an incubator. We need a place to collaborate. And this is one of the aims of Integrative Learning Center. And we've been able to do that so far with our Integral Human Gait program.
Because of the collaborative experience that we have at the Integrative Learning Center of Mid-America, we've been able to offer workshops to not only clients or patients, but also professionals and people who just have a desire to be more free in their movement. And from this integral gait theory, we have been able to identify certain parameters that have been impactful in changing the lives of many people, not just in their physical domain, but also on the emotional, mental, and we have had reports of a spiritual influence as well.
One of the beautiful things about Integral Human Gait is it really kind of expanded my way of looking at gaits. It really kind of opened my eyes to what's going on in the entire kinetic chain. You know, what is their upper body doing? How is their rotations and their spine coordinating with their legs? And that really gave me a lot more options of working with somebody's walking, as well as being able to expand how a person is doing beyond what I was previously. With stroke, we're really kind of working on function. And there's nothing more functional than working on gait mechanics.
Using this multidisciplinary program, we've come up with what we think will be a fantastic in-depth workshop for teachers to be offered next year at Xavier University. The leadership of Dr. Sharon Merrill has allowed us the opportunity to help even rewrite pieces of the curriculum and put somatics into that programming. This will need funding. People can only volunteer so many hours, but I think you can see the importance of helping teachers cover the spectrum of children's needs in a way that works for the child and the teachers.
My hope with working with the teachers and helping them understand more somatics is twofold. One is that they are more understanding of what's happening in their body, so that they'll be able to better interpret, you know, when there is that child that's bouncing around, that it may be an issue more for the teacher versus that child, and they'll be able to put that in perspective. And then the other part is that they'll have, you know, better understanding that that child does need to move, and that, you know, hopefully they'll incorporate more movement things into the classroom and understand that movement doesn't have to be huge for it to be powerful. It can be small exercises that the kids can do in the classroom setting that doesn't, you know, completely change the curriculum, just adds to it.
In mind, because the results are quite interesting. The Integrative Learning Center can sponsor continuing education, and under its umbrella it can sponsor research, and they feed each other. So the research will help develop our continuing practices, and we'll make sure that they're efficacy based.
We've had such an opportunity with the Bones for Life work. We partnered with the City of Cincinnati's Dunham Recreation Seniors, and we're able to take 2 groups through a series of 6-week classes. And through that, we've been able to show that the Bones for Life work has an impact on vitality, mental health, and also looks like it has a pretty nice effect on balance through a particular test called a step test. It's a beginning for showing the potential of the Bones for Life work, and from this research either ourselves or the next level researchers can put together an even more comprehensive approach to the next study.
I really encourage supporting the Integrative Learning Center.
And I really hope that, that they'll be able to get the support that they need from the wider community.
Wow, I wish I had limitless grants and the funding.
That there is a center like the Integrative Learning Center that helps to bring these various methods together and set up educational programs as well as research opportunities that can help us to bring that valuable tool, that valuable approach for people to find their own way to heal themselves.
I feel it's really important to support an organization like this because it's very personal. It's got a group of staff who are very well educated, and their goal is to be able to educate everyone on how to take care of themselves. It's something worth supporting because it's small and it's sort of like public TV or public radio. It's very special and it really needs to survive.
Doing something for a community this important, empowering people, giving them their independence back, I think it is really a cause worth giving our all to support.